Hello, and a very warm welcome back to the Gimme a Whole Year Wrestling Podcast. My name is Ant, and this is...
Ollie.
was that you with a mouth of water, I'm guessing?
A mouth of tea, yeah.
A mouth of tea, a cup of tea. You're all the way across the world, and you've taken tea with you.
I am, and I've also taken something else with me, which you might see here.
What's that?
So,
you Give Me a Whole Year shirt?
Give Me a Whole Year shirt, yeah.
Sharing it across the country, going viral.
Yes, I am across in Hong Kong now at the moment, so I'm broadcasting from a very long way away. Yeah. It is currently like 7:47 in the morning for me. And what time is it for you, Ant?
10 to midnight.
Yeah. So we are still recording these.
Yeah, we're trying to do our best. We're really sorry that it's come out so late. Obviously, we actually recorded the episode as well, and the file got corrupt, which just... Oh, it was heartbreaking, wasn't it, man? I mean, it's...
And then I've been travelling, so it's been impossible to film it again until now. So
we are going to get through it, and we're going to rush through it because we don't know how many people are actually interested in this video. But this was NXT UK 22, which was filmed on which was shown on the 2nd of January 2019. Can I take this time as well to thank you all for your continued support in 2018? It was a really great year for us. We're really happy with where the podcast is going, and we're getting some really nice feedback from you guys, and that's really, really great. So thank you so much. If you enjoy the videos, if you like the channel, it helps us out. Subscribe, ring the ring bell. We'll let you know when videos are coming out. Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter. Sorry, I'm rushing through all this today. I want to get through like 3 videos of filming with you. And what else do they need to do? Oh, comment. Let us know what you think down below. We've had a couple of comments, actually. One of them, we'll read the ones from 2 weeks ago now, basically. Manfred left us an awesome comment, been leaving us some awesome comments, so thank you for your continued support of the channel. We do appreciate it. He says that the commentary on NXT UK hasn't been great, has it? I agree with the way Ripley is booked. She should have been booked like an unstoppable monster. Absolutely, man. I feel that even more so now after these latest 2 episodes.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like, you know, we'd have much more hype leading into the match with Toni Storm if Rhea Ripley had been booked like a beast, because Toni Storm feels like the kind of character who can topple a beast.
She does. She does.
And Rhea Ripley does not feel like a beast, so you know, there's less excitement in the match.
Sorry, dude. There's a quick little plug as well. We're also going to do a predictions video at the end of all this as well, which we're going to try and film as well tonight before NXT TakeOver Blackpool this weekend, which also, I think... Fingers crossed we may be live streaming, so if you come onto the YouTube, you can have a chat with us as it's going on. Let us know what you think. It'd be nice to just chill out, you know?
Yep, and fingers crossed, I'll be there. Yeah. I'll be there.
That'll be like 3 in the morning for you, dude.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Sorry, yeah. Manfred also says he thinks that Barthel and Aichner might be aligned with Walter when he comes into NXT UK to build a German European faction. Maybe Killer Kelly will be part of it. That sounds pretty neat. If Walter comes to NXT UK, which I think he is, I think he's signed, that's going to be a big deal, man.
Yeah, definitely. I followed a little bit of his stuff, and he's kind of one of those weird, like, dynamic dudes. Do you know what I mean? Like, he can kind of do a bit of everything, and I'm like,
but he's also got that old style, like, big knockout punch type thing, you know?
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Absolutely.
He also says Brexit references. I prefer to keep him out of wrestling. I watch wrestling for escapism. My head is done in with Brexit. I think I feel the same. I don't know how you feel, Ollie.
I think everybody feels a little bit disheartened by the whole thing that's going on. Like, it's just it's dragging on and it's dragging on, and whether you're for it or against it, it's definitely not been the most ideal.
But it's not needed in part of wrestling, is it? Really?
I didn't mind the joke. I thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was funny that Vic Joseph kind of dodged those punches as well. You know, like he was really like trying to stay out of it. But I don't know. I don't have a massive problem with it personally, but I could see why someone would.
Cool, rock and roll. So we're going to move into the first match now, which was Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did. I'm pretty sure.
Rock. Purrazzo believed that she was so close to beating Ripley. That's right. She was way, way, way too close. We've said this already. they sort of keep selling this as friendly competition. Toni doing some smooth mat wrestling, looking like she's doing a breakdance to take her down. Some nice reversals by both girls. A much slower paced match, but still impressive. Deonna escapes Toni's leg lock with a headlock, and Peraza keeps battling away Toni's handshake. I thought there was a bit too much of the handshake thing, to be honest.
Yeah, there was quite. I mean, I to be honest with you, I would have got annoyed if someone kept trying to shake my hand all the way through the match. I'd be like, yeah, let's just get on with it.
Can we not just like talk instead of?
I was surprised that started kicking their hands away and stuff because I was like, yeah, like stop trying to shake her hand, Toni. Like, just punch her in the face.
Yeah, no, that's what should have happened. I think Toni works better when she's selling as opposed to this. There was no real tension to the match. Eventually, Peraza starts working over.
When the camera cut was amazing. It's the first time I think that I can remember watching NXT UK that a camera cut has really aided the selling of a move.
Which move was that?
There's a headbutt, and the camera just cut like to another angle as the headbutt came in, and it made it look really impactful. It was the first time I've seen that camera cut actually work well.
The headbutt was great, and also what happened in it is hair was flying everywhere, which it did. It looked really impressive. Yeah, Toni eventually gets out of a losing streak with a backstabber, but can't lift her for the Storm Zero because Peraza's been working the arm. Then it gets a little hammy as they exchange punches. This is your town, Deonna Peraza says to Toni Storm. What?
I mean, I get it. Like, that's the kind of thing though that you do in like a huge feud. I feel like, you know what I mean, you both run into personal in the match. It feels a little bit out of place to do it here, but I don't have a massive problem with it.
I agree. Toni gets the German and Storm Zero for the win. Rhea Ripley enters and walks around the ring.
Yeah, and then stands on the apron and holds the title like behind the apron as if she's scared of Toni Storm.
It was weird. Get it. Don't get it.
Don't get it. Rhea Ripley's just been booked like an idiot, I think.
I think so. I really don't like the way that she's being booked. I'd like to know how you guys feel. Well, I know that Manfred obviously said that Rhea's not being booked like dominant champion. And I think that's how other people feel. There hasn't been any sort of real tension between these two, apart from these silly little setup things that aren't going anywhere.
The build for the first match was way better. Way better.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And Rhea Ripley was still being booked like a monster at that point. Do you know what I mean? And now she's sort of like booked like she is having these really competitive matches with, you know, girls half her size. I just don't get it.
No, I don't. Wild Ball got a little video package next. Oh, what do you think of the match and all?
Yeah, good. I think like the backflip into the dropkick thing was super weird. Yeah. I just don't get the point in like gratuitous like flipping for no reason. Like, you know, when you watch like a Ricochet match and there's flips and they feel like there's there's a purpose, or they lend into the story, then that's fine. But like, I just think like doing a backflip, landing it, and then jumping into a dropkick, she could have just jumped into the dropkick. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It didn't make any sense to me.
No, but I just don't get it. I just really don't get it at the minute. I think there was just no need for this match. It didn't. Tony's better way. It was slightly better towards the end of the match, but the start of the match was just naff, throwaway completely.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because I expect more from Toni Storm matches, though, to be honest.
I guess so. I mean, there was nothing wrong with her performance, I don't think. I think it just like, they're both very talented, but it should have been a better match, I think. The Snap German was beautiful, though.
Her Germans are great. Yeah. Wild Ball got a little video package next. Matt Hardy return confirmed, clearly. As an interview with...
Lead.
Sorry, say again, you keep breaking up.
He's going to come out with him on a lead.
He should do, man. He should do. An interview with Johnny Saint and Sid Scala. Sid Scala says next week will be Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews versus Drake and Gibson. Saint added a lot more to the interview at the end, saying, okay.
I made a little note for this little segment, and I said, why is Johnny Saint barely talking? And we'll find out at the end of the episode.
Man,
why he's talking.
That was bad. Josh Morrell next versus Wild Ball Mike Hitchman. Hitchman I really enjoy, dude. Hitchman's fun.
He's great, right? But are we supposed to just forget that he's lost every single match he's been in since he's returned to NXT, since he's been on NXT UK?
But it doesn't matter because this is his time to win.
I know. It feels like I just go like, what? All right, whatever.
I know what you mean. He lets Turbo do some nice stuff. That's Josh Morrell, but at the same time gets across his wrestling ability. And it was technical, but there was also savageness in there at the same time, so it worked with his character as opposed to the last match we saw him in, I thought.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's building on that, like, being an animal thing.
Yeah, I like the bit where he grabbed Turbo's nose and started wrenching that around. It's cool.
Yeah. Definitely. Do you know, I was gutted though that Primate didn't show back up again. I was kind of enjoying the Wildborn Primate thing, and I just love Primate, so...
I think they'll probably go back to it, to be honest.
And that would be a really good feud down the road. Like a kind of slightly comedy, but also very good match, like series of matches between Wildborn and Primate, because they're both class in the ring. Yeah, they've both got really interesting, unique styles with the whole animal gimmick. Mm-hmm. And it's just a feud that writes itself, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
A bit of that.
There's a nice fireman's carry into the turnbuckle, which sets up the cannonball and a splash for Wildboar to get the win. Woo! He won.
Yeah, he gets his first win. I know. Like, but again, like, am I just supposed to forget? Like, it's like they're trying to now build him like this beast, and I'm going, well, yeah, but he lost to like everyone.
Yeah, but it's you've got to do it at some point. Like, if not, then he just gets beat all the time, like Tucker.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, it worked for me. I enjoyed it. Joseph Connor's promo next. Almost identical to the one from the week before. Or 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Him breaking shiny new toys. It needed more, man.
Yeah, and I just, like, it was felt really uncomfortable. I don't like that, like, I'm sitting in a room talking to myself thing. I'm talking about toys. I'm going to break all the toys.
Oh, dude.
And then, like, his mouth was making loads of wet sounds.
Sloppy lips. And anyone who has headphones on is now cringing.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I felt when I watched the segment.
Yeah, the one thing I will say about this weird sort of segment is the person that could do them really well, Mick Foley, man, when he first come in as Mankind, all that stuff.
But it totally made sense with his character of him to be like talking to himself. Mm-hmm. But Joseph Connors, I'm not sure I buy it. Like, certainly not in that style with that topic. Like, I don't think that Joseph Connors talking about smashing lovely new toys is like, or if you're going to do that, have him come in with a sledgehammer and like little like toy soldiers, like, you know, the little red coat ones with like, you know, they're like little, like the little wooden ones that you get like in like old Christmas movies and stuff.
Yeah, like the Nutcracker, yeah.
Yeah, Nutcracker, that's it. Yeah. Have him in like a little line like across the table, and have him have a sledgehammer and have just little pictures of like NXT UK superstars' faces on them.
No.
And just have them. That'd be fun.
What he needs to do is he actually needs to dress the wrestlers up as the superstars and then like start talking to the Ligero one, building up a match between him and Ligero.
I'd be into that. If we're going to go with this, like, he's a bit of a deranged, like, serial killer style thing, I'm into that.
Yeah, go further. Yeah,
just talking wetly into a microphone, just for me, doesn't do it.
Like our podcast.
Connors, I don't like toys. No, I don't like it.
Travis Banks calls out Devlin next. How can he say he doesn't love his country when he wears his flag around his neck? He does.
Absolutely.
It's a perfect point.
Yeah. Devlin, you've lost the argument. There you go. Now have the match. Get it over with.
Feud over. Yeah. I'm sorry. I do really like my country. I've got a flag that I wear on my head. I think this is going to come into the takeover match, actually, and we'll talk about that during our predictions video. So make sure once you've done this to go ahead and check that out and share that on social media. It'd be great if we could get some shares on that. If we could get more than 10 views on that in 24 hours, that would be awesome, because we aren't going to get any more views after the next 24 hours. Marcel, Barthel and Fabian Aichner are shouting at Sid Scala. This is great.
It was a good segment. I enjoyed it.
It's so good.
The door slapping on their way out every time they went out of the room.
Walking into like the clothes rail.
And then the door hit the clothing rail, and then on the way back, the door got stuck coming in, so it like only closed like 2/3 of the way. There was just something about the whole segment that was just hilarious. I think like, and it was, and that's the thing, is it wasn't like hilarious because it was terrible, like Isla Dawn meditating in a hallway, kind of terrible. No. It was deliberate. It was meant to be funny.
Yeah,
and
it was great.
Funny.
It was really funny.
They succeeded it being funny, and I love those two guys. I love Aichner and I love Herman the German.
You know, this week that was in NXT.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I have been, obviously with my traveling, been a bit behind on catching up with stuff. So no, I didn't know that. That's cool though.
Is it? I don't know. I really like him in NXT UK. Actually,
I think they're the kind of team that I could see working both shows and being really successful on both.
Yeah.
And actually, if anything, that kind of builds something about them. Like if they are the international team that like go from brand to brand and like, you know, kick some serious hiney wherever they go.
That'd be a really nice spot from you.
That would be a really cool spot. Yeah, they'd get to have amazing matches with different people, and I think like over time they would grow in the public eye, and they'd become like a much bigger deal with everybody, because it's like, oh, those guys are back and they're here, and we know they're gonna have an amazing match.
No, I agree. Scala says that there's no chance of them interfering, or they'll be out of NXT, so they're interfering in the next match. Also, we think Marcel has a great voice. He's still holding his hand behind his back. He's awesome. He's awesome.
I cannot place his accent at all. Like,
it's all over the place.
I don't know if that's just a very natural, tame German accent, because I don't know many German people, and I've not like heard a broad range of German accents. So it could just be that.
Maybe he's like the German is number one. Maybe he's like, this is the Scouse German accent dialect thing.
Maybe. I genuinely have no idea, but I was like, he doesn't sound German. No. He sounded kind of American, and then he sounded kind of Australian, and then he sounded really German, and I was like, I'm so confused.
Dave Mastiff versus Eddie Dennis next. They counted out the camera movement again at the start of the match. Really annoying.
Yeah. What with the shaking?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't mind the shaking. That's fine. Just don't tell me about it.
It's got a bit gratuitous, isn't it? It's like,
oh my word.
It was such a nice subtle thing when they first did it. I mean, I remember noticing it back in like episode 1 and being like, oh, that's a really cool thing. Like, and the fact that they didn't draw attention to it was really nice. But now they're just like, oh my god, whoa! And it's like, all right, okay, like, let's just tone it back a bit, like.
Dude, your audio was awful then. Just breaking up all over.
Sorry. Oh gosh. Bit of a cough.
Mastiff gets a crossbody, but can't get the German. Dennis goes for Mastiff quickly, but Mastiff soon gets back into it, and it remains like that throughout the match. There's a lot of back and forth. No one looks stronger or weaker at this point. Dennis's face, man. He's like... I'm doing Eddie Dennis's face because I know you can't see me. Do an Eddie Dennis face for me, Ollie.
I was doing Eddie Dennis face. I was already doing it.
Was it? What? He's doing my head in.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's a little bit over the top, but again, it just comes back to this whole character thing where we thought we were going to get this kind of like very bitter, like straight, serious character, and we've got this kind of ridiculous, quirky, like, I do weird faces and gangly arms face, like character. Although I will say, his matches with Mastiff are
really good
in my mind. Yeah, way better than they have any right to be.
Absolutely.
Like, those two people together, he's like so tall and gangly, and then obviously Mastiff is like heavy, and like both of them are good in the ring, don't get me wrong, but like I just, in terms of a mesh of styles, I just wouldn't expect those two to work well together. And everything they have is actually always quite good. Like, always quite enjoy it. And Eddie Dennis in other matches, he's felt like he's like stooping low to the ground and doing this like jazz hands thing. Just never does. Mastiff, he looks strong and he looks powerful and he looks like scary.
Yeah,
and I don't get it. I don't get why it's his matches with Mastiff that have that effect.
It's working at the minute. It's working. Dennis ends up lifting Mastiff for a powerbomb. I mean, it's great. It's a great spot. Mastiff ends up getting a Fitley roll, avoiding the powerbomb. The two end up punching in the middle of the ring, back and forth. They both start to push the ref, who's been telling them to protect the face. The ref was getting way too involved in this match. And Dennis and Mastiff continue to slog it out as the ref cancels the match.
Yeah, because they gave him a little shove, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought early on this ref is getting well involved in this match. He's being very annoying. Yeah. And like, he's chatting a lot, like, and you could hear him chatting the whole way through, going like, "Oh, come on, guys! Oh, come on! Oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm so annoyed! I'm so annoyed that these wrestlers that I see every single week flying out of the ring and getting on the turnbuckle
fighting.
are actually doing all the things that they do every single week. Oh, I'm really annoyed about this." I just was like, all right, cool.
No.
Like, we're going for a spot with the ref. Do you know what? It got me to the point though where I was just like, when they were like punching each other and then he threw the match out, I wanted them to turn on him.
Yeah, so did I, and squash him. I sort of.
This is formation of a tag team. Like, they're just going to squash this ref, and I was really willing them to do it.
Well, what ended up happening is Sid Scala comes out to stop them. Not even he can keep them apart. Not even Sid Scala with his Lego hair can keep... What?
I know. Not even the tiny Sid Scala. What commentary is that?
Oh, I have no idea, man. Then Johnny Saint comes out. Hang on, you two. We'll settle this at NXT UK Blackpool Takeover.
Okay, Johnny. Thank you. It'll be a non-disqualifier match, or whatever he said.
He's just like, he was clearly backstage trying to remember the order of NXT UK Blackpool Takeover, NXT UK Takeover Blackpool, and he just messed up and it just all fell apart.
Horribly wrong. I like that the commentary tried to save him though by going, "Yeah, it's NXT Blackpool Takeover." Yeah. I was like, "Oh, okay, nice one, guys." But yeah, Johnny, just bless him. Yeah. We can see why he doesn't speak.
Yeah, because 4 words is too much for the dude. And Sid Scala's looking like he's caring, man. But it's a no disqualification match. I think that'll be exciting at Takeover. Again, we'll have our predictions coming up soon. Perhaps, I think we got the relationship between Sid Scala and Johnny Saint wrong. We did call them a head teacher and a prefect. This is starting to look more like an elderly man and his carer.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know what you mean, though. It is a bit... I'll tell you what, though, like, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but absolute props to Sid Scala. In terms of a mouthpiece for the NXT UK,
he's doing a great job.
One hell of a job. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think. Do you know how I wish this had ended? Actually, I sort of wish all the jobbers that they'd beat came out and then like piled on Dennis and Mastiff.
What, they just tore through him?
Oh yeah, absolutely, ripped the limbs off.
Yeah, that'd be good. I think maybe that's the end of the feud that turns them into a tag team. Maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought it was a good match. I think it was nice to see them setting up spots for takeovers. So the fact that Eddie didn't get the power bomb, Mastiff didn't get his cannonball. I think it's going to be one of the more interesting matches at Takeover, actually. And who would have thought that?
I know. Crazy. I wouldn't have bought it, but hey, I'm up for it.
There we go. Joe Coffey and Pete Dunne contract signing next. Joe Coffey comes down in his civvies, a coat and trousers. Pete Dunne, my man, comes down in a suit, looking suave. Shoes, no socks.
And like his little brother's trousers on. They're about 3 or 4 inches too short, weren't they? But I think that's the style.
That's not a style, dude. That's like wearing socks with flippers.
I know, I think that's quite a popular thing at the moment. It's like the short trousers as part of a suit. But I was looking at it and I was like, both of them actually, because like even like they both got their top knots, you know. Joe comes out kind of looking like he's got like the suit trousers, but then he's got like the coat, and he kind of looks like a little bit like, you know, fashionable kind of, you know, like when Americans come out in suits, they come out in like suit, like it's like 3-piece, and it's like it's, you know, by the book, like suit. But like British people come out in a suit and they look like they're going for like a fashion show, or like, do you know what I mean? Like,
or a wedding.
Yeah, or like a fancy wedding, you know, like a hipster wedding or something. Yeah. And I just like, oh my God, what is going on? But Americans must think that British people dress like maniacs. You know?
Probably. What? He's wearing no socks? Actually, we do tend to wear socks with shoes, or I do. I am a sock and a shoe man. I don't like showing my ankles to the public. Our lass said something when it come on. She said something about the cat's dead. Has his cat died or something? Have you ever heard that saying?
No.
I don't know what she was on about.
What to do with the shoes and socks?
Yeah, man.
No, I've never heard it before.
Sorry. off subject, but it's there. They say it's like the heads of two firms meeting up to talk business, like the gangs of Great Britain. I quite like that, and I thought that the style suited that as well.
Yeah, and I'm kind of into it. It was like kind of reminiscent of the kind of like the Craze or something like that. Like a kind of big. But I with the whole Iron King thing, and this is my kingdom, and like the UK Championship, we're doing this is a bit like Game of Thrones. I don't know. For me, stick with one or the other. But because the themes start to get a little bit muddled.
Joe Coffey's doing a lot of that, just naming off random things that he is, and it's all sort of I know exactly what you mean.
But also, I'm the owner of a business, and I'm a small business owner, and I want my tax laws to be. It's like what's happening?
Yeah. Coffey says the only reason he's still champion is because he hasn't met him yet. Yeah,
that was a cool line, but he was really rattling on. But did you see that he nearly fell out of his chair?
No, I didn't. I went back and watched it though, because you mentioned it in the last episode that we filmed that completely got corrupted. That was hilarious, man.
Yeah, he like leans back in his chair and then he goes too far and he goes like and then it clearly throws him for the rest of the promo, because he gets really irate because all the crowd laugh at him for nearly falling out of his chair. But I would be really annoyed as well at whoever was in charge of those chairs. Like, make me a chair I can sit back in and look cool.
You cannot blame this on the stage manager who give him a chair to sit on. You can't, like, if I fell back against this chair, like, I won't be blaming you. Like, oh, you made me fall back on my chair. That was his own stupid fault.
I didn't give you the chair. If I came to your house and went, here's a chair, sit in it, and then when it comes to it, you can lean back and look really comfortable, and then you fell off it, then it would definitely be my fault.
If I was the stage manager and Joe Coffey came to me and said, look, that chair you give me was an incorrect chair. I wanted to lean back exactly 45 degrees, and when I leaned back 40 degrees, I slipped.
I don't know. I think that the standard specifications of a chair should say, like, if they've got a back to it, that you can lean back in it without falling out. That's the point of owning a chair.
I hope you never have to write a risk assessment for this podcast, is all I'm going to say. Then Gallus comes out, Joe Coffey. Oh, right. Coffey goes to sign. Dunn grabs his hands, does his twisty hand things. He says, you talk too much. You talk too much.
No. He said it cool, I thought. He just like, you talk too much. Snap.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It was cool. It was good. Gallus come out. Joe Coffey gets powerbomb. Pete Dunne through the table. Nice. Like it. Nice visual. It's
Somebody
obvious.
always goes through the table. Yeah. Somebody always goes through the table at a signing. Cool. I was wondering who it's going to be. I like that they've done this thing with Pete Dunne. Like, his accent, his accent's retreating. We saw that from, I think, the last episode when he said that he would take on Coffey at the end of that tag match in the last episode. Yeah. I think they've really worked on just taking a little bit of the really like brumminess out of his accent, which I don't personally have a problem with the brummy accent, but I think if you want to access America, you can't be like, all right, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Really doesn't really like sound quite as threatening. But I think Pete Dunne's really like getting into his element with his voice, and I like that he's doing Joe Coffey's there like, I am the Iron King and I'm gonna fight you and I'm gonna talk for like 4 minutes, and then Pete's like, you talk too much. Boom.
That's cool.
Other than amount of words, I like it.
We'll talk about who's winning at Blackpool in our predictions video. Best match.
You go first, just while I think.
I'll go Storm and Parazzo, although it wasn't the best in my opinion. I don't think this was a great pay-per-view. In fact, I'm going to give it 1.5 stars. I don't think there was anything, not pay-per-view, episode. I don't think there was anything special that really happened in it. Best performer was Storm, but I still don't think it was the best work.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Dave Masters versus Eddie Dennis.
Okay, cool.
Although the ending was like terrible, and I'm not a big fan of the whole ref thing. I guess it's a means to an end. I thought that actually what they were doing throughout the rest of the match was really fun.
Yeah, it set up a lot of good spots for Blackpool.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to give my performer of the evening, to Eddie Dennis.
Cool, rock and roll. And how many stars?
1.5. 1 3/4.
Rock and roll. You always have to go a little higher than me because you're the good guy in this relationship. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We're sorry that the episode's late. We're going to try and film the next episodes now for you. Try and get them out as soon as we can so you can enjoy them before NXT TakeOver Blackpool. Like I say, we will be trying to live stream that event, so please join us. It would be awesome to see you there. Is that everything, Ollie?
I believe so. Just thank you for bearing with us. Obviously, just with the move for me going out to Hong Kong, it's been a little bit difficult. But I will be back on the 14th of February, so I will see you until then here, and then I'll see you then there.
Are we going to have a date?
Yeah.
Do you buy me Valentine's Day cards?
I haven't before, but I will be back on Valentine's Day, so okay. I'm sure, you know.
I look forward to that.
Yeah.
And on that note, keep it gay.